Okay, let's talk about Mass Effect Andromeda a little bit more. I'm not going to show the new combat footage because of stupid IGN watermarks, so if you want to go see the footage that I'm talking about in this video, then by all means go and watch it while I'm talking or whatever. I'm just going to throw some general Mass Effect Andromeda stuff on the screen for you, but I've gone through and I've looked at the new mission that they released and done a bit of a walkthrough of. I think it's PB, is that her name? It's kind of like her loyalty mission, you know, with every companion. You do missions that increase their loyalty, probably give you bonuses, or like relationship rank with the characters and things like that. So I watched through that entire thing, and I've got some new and a few more thoughts on the combat in Mass Effect Andromeda, so let's get right on into that. Overall, I think that I'm a bit underwhelmed by what I saw there. It looks like Mass Effect combat, don't get me wrong, and of course this isn't the final version of the game, but we're getting pretty damn close, so I think this is pretty indicative as to exactly what we're gonna get with the final product. It's gonna be pretty close to this, and overall, I'm just gonna say that I think that my previous fears with the open world nature of the combat and bullet sponging, things like that, I think that that is going to be a detraction from the final game. Of course, I haven't played it yet. Other people are getting hands-on with it. Of course, I'm not big enough to be able to get hands-on with games of that size and everything, so I haven't played it myself, and that's totally fine. But overall, to me, it looks like the game is going to feel very bullet spongy, and I'm a little bit worried that all the activatable abilities, they kind of all look the same. I can't tell them apart or anything. They just kind of cause explosions from what I'm seeing, aside from things like the automated turrets, and it does concern me a lot. And I'm not saying that I think the game is going to be terrible. I think it's going to be okay, but from what I've seen, it looks like it's gonna feel a lot more like a game like Dragon Age Inquisition, and I know people get annoyed when I bring that up because, oh, it's more action-focused and everything, but it looks like an MMO with third-person shooter mechanics. Like, there's been a few of those over the last few years. Games like Defiance, that was a big one, where you played it, and it was an MMO, but you still got to aim and shoot at things, but they all had MMO health bars still and all that stuff, and that's the feeling I get from Mass Effect Andromeda. And to put it in perspective, let's compare Andromeda's gameplay and Andromeda's combat to what we just recently saw with the release of Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, I'm not saying that Mass Effect Andromeda needs to be exactly like Horizon Zero Dawn, with utilizing things like a variety of the weapons they have in that game, or being able to hide in bushes and do sneak attack ambushes and all that stuff. I'm not saying that, but what I've been seeing with the combat that we've been shown in Mass Effect Andromeda is that there's a big emphasis on powerful bosses that you need to fight. And the thing that Horizon Zero Dawn did really well from what I've seen of the game, I haven't played it, but what I've heard and what I've seen in the gameplay for that game is they've made it very intriguing and interesting to fight those bigger enemies. And the way they did that was by changing exactly how those enemies interact with you, the different weapons that they'll utilize, the different combat tactics they'll use. Some will charge right at you, some will have medium range capabilities, and this other stuff that doesn't look like it's available in Mass Effect Andromeda. You add on top of that things like targeting specific points of the enemies in Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm sure that is a part of Mass Effect Andromeda, but from what we've seen in the combat so far, it doesn't seem to be as big of a focus, and I think that's really going to detract from the enjoyment that you get out of fighting those bosses, because there'll be less strategy involved and more just throw everything that explodes at it until it dies. And to me, unfortunately, that just isn't engaging content. That seems like something that's going to get very old very quickly, and it has me very concerned as to my overall enjoyment of the game. There are some other things I noticed when the gameplay was going on, things like there's a couple moments where your AI companions, they would kind of zip across the screen and it would look really glitchy and weird, as well as when the character was sliding down embankments or going off small ledges, it looked like there were some missing animations in there, which by all means could just be not implemented in that version of the game. But again, we're getting very close to release, and I would figure that most, if not like 99% of the game, would probably be completed by that point. In an ideal scenario, At this point, they're going to be working on things like marketing, of course, showing off these demos, and at this point, when we are less than a month before release, they should be showing off the best stuff they can. So we're going to see exactly how this goes. I'm more skeptical than I was before. I don't think it's going to be bad, but, you know, I think a lot of people are going to be very disappointed, especially those that bought their tickets for the hype train last year. But I want to know, what did you think of the Mass Effect Andromeda gameplay that we were shown recently? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you want to continue the discussion, head over to my Discord server. That's usually where I am every single day, and you can go talk to me whenever you want to. I'm a nice guy, I swear sometimes. Special thanks to all the recent supporters on VidMe and Patreon. I really appreciate it, you guys. If you want to support me, throw $1 my way over there. I'd appreciate it. Again, how many times do I say I would appreciate it in videos? Someone tally them up and tell me in the comments. I am PattyJack, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day.